Overflows.
Friendliness, a significant quality. Insights into Life, Love and Light by Nivedita Rimba. Friends means an overflowing love which has gone beyond sexuality, a love which has gone beyond biology, a love which has transcended ordinary nature, a love that has transcended gravitation and now become part of the higher law of grace. And when such friendship has transcended biology, it becomes the quality of your being or simply friendliness. Friendliness is one of the most significant qualities for the seeker to develop. It is really sweet. It makes your whole life full of sweet music and harmony. In Buddha's vision, it is higher than even so called love. Your so called love is tethered to your biology. Friendliness is freedom from biology. The ordinary so called love is the same in human beings as it is in animals, as it is in the trees. It is sex oriented. It is only sugar coating around the bitter pill of sex. In fact, if love is taken away from your sex, sex will look very ridiculous. It is because of this sugar coating that you can swallow the pill. Watch animals having sexual intercourse, and one thing you are bound to observe, it is impossible not to observe it. It is so emphatically there. They do not seem to be joyous. They seem to be in a hurry, and their faces look sad, as if they are being forced by some unknown energy into certain act in which they are not interested. Hence, animals have their sexual season when their biology takes a grip on them and forces them to do something which they are not really interested in at all. They have to do it almost like slaves, and once they are finished with their sexual intercourse, they move away from each other, not even a thank you. They do not look at each other. Scientists say love has grown in man for the simple reason that man is the only animal in the world who makes sexual intercourse face to face. You have to say something, you have to smile, you have to say goodbye, you have to say so long. Otherwise, it will look so awkward to finish suddenly and escape. Because you are facing each other, you have to be somewhat polite, a little cultured, a little polished. You have to believe in a certain manner. You cannot be rude. Animals are not facing each other while making love, so they do not encounter, they do not look into each other's eyes. It is simply biological process and they are almost forced into it by their biology, by their hormones to go through it. They go through it, they are dragged through it like slaves. And the same is the situation with you. Only the sugar coating is different. Friendship is a higher phenomenon. It is pure love. It has nothing to do with your biology. Love, ordinary love, can be explained through biology, but friendship cannot be explained. It is a mystery. Friendship is like the fragrance. Love is gross because of its sexuality, because of its origins. It is a little heavy. It functions under the law of gravitation. It goes on falling downwards. It has no wings. Friendship has wings. It is non biological. It makes you really human and helps you to transcend your animality. Buddha praises friendship, friendliness very highly. He has even chosen that when he comes back again, his name will be Maitri, the friend. He must have loved the world so much. I do not think he will come back or anybody has ever come again. God never makes the same mistake again. Remember, once is more than enough. Twice will be too much, but he must have loved the world so much that he says, next time, if I am at all going to come, my name is going to be Matri, the friend. The word contains his whole philosophy. He says to have friends is sweet. Why is it sweet? Because with friends, your relationship is not physiological, it is not even psychological, it is a spiritual communion. With friends, you can sit in silence. With friends, you can sit in silence. When you are with your spouse, your lover, you cannot sit in silence. Their silence looks awkward. The woman will think, why are you silent? Are you angry or something else? And if she is silent, you will think something is wrong. She is sulking. Why is she so silent? Silence becomes heavy, a burden. It has to be removed. So, between the spouses, there can never be a silence. People go on talking, whether it is needed or not. They go on talking about just anything. You look at it. The talks are most of the times irrelevant. I have heard once Mullah Nasruddin was coming from his village in his bullock cart. His dog was with him. It was a hot summer afternoon, and suddenly he was surprised that the dog said, "It is too hot summer day." He looked around. There was nobody, just his dog. And he said to his oxen, Have you heard? Have you heard that? Have you heard what has happened? And the oxen said, Yes, he is just like anybody else, always talking about weather and doing nothing. This is the situation of the people. If people have nothing else to talk about, they talk about weather, they talk about politics, anything will do. And when you look at it, the talks are irrelevant. It is not, there is no creativity in it. It keeps you in a way connected. In fact, it keeps you disconnected. It is not a bridge. Rarely it is a bridge. It is a bridge only between a master and a disciple. Otherwise, it is not a bridge. When the master speaks out of his silence and the disciple listens out of his silence, it becomes a bridge. Master speaks out of his silence and disciple listens out out of his silence. Otherwise, it is a wall, a China wall. Lovers are facing each other. They have to say something. Otherwise, silence becomes awkward, dragging, and embarrassing. Friends do not face each other in that way. They face something else. Maybe the sunset, or a bird on the wing, or a beautiful white cloud, holding hands, sitting together. They face something else. They both are facing something else. They are in a sort of deep communion. They are one. Their hearts are beating in harmony. Real friends sitting together will find that their hearts start beating in the same way, one rhythm. They even start breathing in harmony. When one exhales, the other also exhales. This happens on its own accord. It is synchronicity. When you are feeling in communion, this happens. This happens between master and a disciple quite often. Someone told me recently, Tao, how does it happen? Just before you are going to say something, I know what are you going to say this moment. It is so clear, and then you say it. Things like this happens between a deep communion because of a deep communion between master and the disciple. As it arises in my being, it starts arising in your being as well. Hence, the ultimate between master and disciple is silence. Sitting together, when the master and disciple stay together in silence, a deep connection happens between them. There is no need to say anything. Whatsoever happens in the master's being also starts happening in the disciple's being. They are one now. The disciple starts reflecting the master like a mirror. On a smaller scale, the same happens with friends. But by friends, Buddha does not mean mere acquaintances. By friends, he means a love which has gone beyond sexuality, a love that has gone beyond biology, a love which has transcended ordinary nature, love that has transcended gravitation and has become now the part of higher law of grace, higher law of grace. When love pulls you down, it is because of the gravitational pull of sex, and when it pulls you upward, then it is the law of grace. Enough for now.